Tennessee Hills to me is fine crafted spirits and authentic experiences. It was late 2013. We were driving home from work, and this building had sit empty for about 20 years. It was really run down and in bad shape, and one day I had a for sale sign on it. That's when Jessica and I started kicking around the idea of opening up a distillery. She called me one day and she was crying, and she says, "I don't care if we go broke." She's like, "I don't care what we got to do. If you want to open a distillery, I'm behind you 110%. Really, the building kind of made the decision for us. It was hard for somebody to be 25 years old, which that's how old we were when we started Tennessee Hills, to come out and legally say, "Hey, I make illegal booze, and I don't really know the correct way to go about it."
He called the mayor. We were on our way home from work when he called him back, and we were sitting there, him looking at the phone as we were driving down the road, trying to stall until we got home to talk to him, to try to determine, like, "Hey man, I want to open a distillery in Jonesboro. You think that's cool?" You know?
Yeah, I had seen this build my whole entire life. I remember coming in here when I was a kid, and it was like a consignment shop, but I always thought it was cool, mostly because of the elevator in there. I remember coming in and as a kid trying to pull on that rope and work the elevator. As Jessica was saying, the mayor really kind of helped us. I think he realized more before we did how important this location would be if we wanted to do something like we're talking about doing. Our motto on our logo is embracing heritage. It was a very difficult decision for me to make early on because we didn't want to go down the moonshine route and really play into this gimmick with wearing, funny hats and talking funny and, kind of making a mockery of our heritage. Instead, we decided that we wanted to build a brand that represented the people of Tennessee Hills, the culture of Tennessee Hills, the history of Appalachia. It was all there in front of us to build something that I felt that would be authentic and that people could get behind. And we've got a great opportunity to tell our history of who we are, and we can take it upon ourselves to really educate people the history of Appalachia and the Tennessee Hills. We come out with an unaged corn whiskey, which is kind of like moonshine. We called it corn liquor just because it kind of ties into how we approach things. Came up with the lemon drop. The lemon drop still to this day is probably our number one seller.
By volume, it is our number one seller still.
Yeah.
The Purple Jesus has probably been our most popular cocktail. Since the beginning, we would do small events where we would just do like 4 or 5 cocktails, and that was always one of the staples and has continued since we've got the bar open. A lot of people come here, they enjoy our employees, because they've really bought into our concept, of really just high standards of customer service, going above and beyond. Like, people have got to know us and watch us grow, and so it's really personal, I think, so we really have that connection, and I think that's kind of what, makes us a little bit different.
We built a brand to where the local community, they kind of saw us struggle as a young couple, and they kind of saw us face some adversity, and we never quit, we never stopped, we always kept pushing forward. I think people appreciate that, and that just happened naturally. That wasn't something we were trying to do. That was us trying to scrap for everything we could get back then. And I think, what makes Tennessee Hills as a company unique is it is founded by somebody like Jessica and I, that it would be hard to separate us from the company because Jessica and I and the company are basically the same thing. And I think that's pretty rare to come across these days. I don't even think we could get out of it if we wanted to these days. Something like what we're trying to build, I think, will be around for hundreds of years. If you want a true taste of Tennessee, stop by Tennessee Hills.